So last episode was fairly humiliating as things go. So we're basically retreating to our own coasts, and gonna try to stick it out, I guess. We'll see. What do you mean friendly ship's not available? We have an armored cruiser in the Caribbean. Oh, it's on coastal patrol, though. It's not a force and being. Whatever. Alright, we're about to have a bunch more destroyers. So let's put that on active fleet and support it with some destroyers. And we'll go to Africa. Alright, so at least we can now have some level of protection. Accuracy improvement. How do we have forces in the area? I thought I moved everything out. Okay. Whatever. Maybe we can shank one of their light cruisers and then quickly escape. I will accept that. Armored cruiser. Wonderful. Is it going to be one of those dangerous armored cruisers? Let's find out. Ah, it's a light cruiser. Only capable of 23 knots. How are we not closing on them faster? Alright, now we're starting to close. Uh-oh. Worrying, but not yet enough to make me turn tail. Hey, Piano Josh. Hey, Sun and Fury. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Goodbye. So much for that. It was nice while it lasted when we thought we could actually take out a ship, but that's all the battle cruisers and stuff. Or at least a bunch of other cruisers and other things. So this ship needs to come home. Piano Josh, that's awesome. Always glad to be of service. Quasi-war was a really weird period of history. So yeah, they had 2 armored cruisers, 3 light cruisers, and 3 destroyers. So good we turned tail when we did. We could have taken any 2 of the light cruisers, a bunch of the destroyers, but probably not the armored cruisers. Oh, and I realize I literally never changed the zoom level, but it doesn't matter because I was always zoomed in enough. Alright, so apparently there's still a ship in Northern Europe, which I don't really understand. Oh, because it was going from Northern Europe to West Africa. That's why. That's why. You know, you didn't give me the armored cruiser that could have taken a lot of them on. You just gave me that single light cruiser. Whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever. That's a drastic decrease in budget. That's a remarkably drastic decrease in budget. We probably should have stayed at war, because we could have obviously defended against Russia for any amount of time. But we need an alliance again so badly. All right. Okay, let's take almost everybody back. This is all roughly fine. Now let's sort and mothball all those. Mothball the pre-dreads. And that's expensive, but we need good fire control. Director fire. I guess we can hold off a little bit and see if we get improved director in a little bit. Sound and Fury, thank you. That's not what I want. I do not want the things that are internment to stay in Europe. However, I think they're like in yards, so I don't think I can move them out of here. Northern Europe, yeah, everything in Northern Europe has multiple months to go before they're repaired, so I can't move them yet. I wonder if it'll let me make a rebuild of these. Will it let me rebuild this? Let's find out. Oh, yes it will. So the repair time. Sweet, we can rebuild it while it's already in the yard. So totally doing that. Now the real question is, do we want to rebuild Lex and Sarah or not? I'm not going to rebuild this Brooklyn. Alright, so New Jersey is about to become obsolete. New Mexico still has a few years left. Like, we could rebuild her. But I don't think it's worth it. Actually, let's look at what this would take. We'll do the minimal rebuilds. All right. Oh, we can't put a director on cruisers yet. That's annoying. Yeah. All right. Well, them's the breaks. All right. Yes, I know we have more ships in Northern Europe than our bases support because it won't let me move them yet. All right, we can finally get rid of some of our old destroyers. Yeah, like let's get rid of all the old hull class destroyers. They're pretty clapped out. And we can also get rid of all the Truxtons. So now we only have modern 900-ton destroyers. A bunch of old Smiths, and then all the brand new Dales. I'm going to send the remaining Smiths to the west coast. Because we're getting all the Dales on the east coast. And so the second USS Oakland of the Oakland class. That's, I probably shouldn't have let the computer do that. It should be named something else. Oh, I can rename it. Let's rename it. I doubt that's in the list. Okay. Durr. Why are they always baffled by the good techs? Like, they can be baffled by a 1% decrease in mass on something, but they always get baffled by the good techs. New docs completed. We'll build more docks. Reconstruction finishes. And these will finish their reconstruction soon. All right, so let's move these. Oh, are they already on the? Oh, they're already on the West Coast. Oh, they went back to where they went into the dockyards on the West Coast. Excellent. And I won't let me move them because they're in the yard. It let me move them from Northern Europe because I reconstructed them, but it won't let me move them now. All right. Yeah, we could use more budget, but something will leak. How do we have more ships in? What's in Europe? Oh, these finally got. Okay. So this needs to go to the West Coast, and this should go to the Caribbean for now. Continue to run at a deficit to get these ships done finally. Let us check the almanac. We have no dreadnoughts. Great Britain has 8 dreadnoughts with a 9th building. Let's look at what kind these dreadnoughts are, however. Interesting. Triples. Still could really use another centerline turret. 11-inch belt, though. Ah, but they're actually building a decent dreadnought. Germany is building a, 23 knots though. 9.5-inch belt, that's almost a battle cruiser. Wow, 24,000 tons and all it can manage is 6 12-inch guns. But it does have a 15-inch belt. That is a very well-armored battlecruiser. 28,000 tons. That's interesting. Japan is building some new battle cruisers. All right. I guess I have to halt this again. I think I don't want to sell to Russia. I have submarines on low priority, and they're actually as advanced as anything else. That's annoying. All right. We'll unpause that. Interesting. Quad torpedo mounts, and yet they still won't give us higher displacement destroyers or any of that stuff we want. Badger Masher, that's fair, but I find submarines not terribly fun, even though it's ahistoric for the U.S. TDS-2 and quadruple mounts. They're still bad at hydrostatic pistols. All right. Guess it's time to design another battlecruiser. That's a weird looking ship. All these things are stupidly weird. Okay, that's... What is that? That's a flight deck cruiser. Why is there a flight deck on my battle cruiser? I guess it's time to lay down a dreadnought. None of these things are... Alright, that is acceptable to me. Now the real question is, should we use 5-inch or 7-inch secondaries? I feel like in the last few fights, but again, that was because I didn't have destroyers. If I actually have destroyers and cruisers in attendance, then yeah, we'll be fine with just these secondaries. We don't need tertiaries, and we don't need to stick with 5-inch. So we have 40,000 tons to play with. I guess we're building another battlecruiser because there's no way I'm sticking below 25 knots. So 27 knots it is, with a finer hull shape. And stick with 14-inch guns. So we're doing the very US thing of keeping the same caliber but upping the number of guns. Oh yes, and we're finally can use all or nothing armor. .5-inch deck. TDS-2. Where can we scrimp? Well, I'm not going to scrimp, so let's look at the deck penetration. 3.4 inches. So we definitely want a 3.5-inch deck. And no mistake. No one else's yard is even close. Oh, we still have torpedoes. That's useless. Alright, I guess we'll stick with only 10 of the secondary battery. And do that. The Tycho class. Be better to have a 4-inch deck, but there's no way we can do it. And I want the extra gun power. If our 15-inch guns weren't bad, I'd go up to 9 15-inch guns instead of 12 14s, and then some more secondaries, and it would be a better ship. But as it stands, it is what it is. So let's lay you down. And that's expensive. So in the game, it's got a fair amount of belt. So, compared to a standard. So it's got a 16-inch belt, which translates into 1913, probably 13 inches. So it's 16-inch cup equivalent. And so the Nevadas were laid down in 1912. They were the first to have all or nothing. And they had, where's the belt? 13.5 inch. So yeah, so basically we laid down, by dint of increasing displacement from 27,500 tons to 40,000 tons, we basically turned Nevada into a fast battleship. Took her from 20 knots to 27 knots. Also, Nevada only had 10 14-inch, and we have 12. So there's that too. And I bet we have better torpedo defenses than Nevada had. Yeah, so there's Pennsylvania with her 12 14s on 29,000 tons. Same belt. The deck was only 3-inch, so we have more deck armor as well. But yes, we're Badger Masher, in case you hadn't noticed, we're literally doing exactly what the U.S. did, just with battle cruisers instead of battleships. We're definitely laying down our standards. Because here's Independence class. Less deck, 9 instead of 12, although traditionally in the U.S. it would be 10 and keeping the ABXY. But we're doing ABY and now ABXY. All right. Here we go. That budget is getting pretty low. Oh, and our docks. I forgot to do that. All right, I guess we'll have to halt Tycho now. That is not a battle cruiser I'm terribly scared of. It's the same speed, but less armor than our Constitution. All right. We'll halt for one more month so that we actually have enough of a balance. Who do I pick? Well, it's not likely we'll actually fight any kind of war against Italy, so we'll pick on Italy. Make the Agent a national hero was one of our agents was caught spying on whatever country that was, because we have intel on them. Intel effort is non-zero. So we made them a national hero, gave us tension, which we actually like because it increases the budget. So. we can resume construction on Tycho, and we'll lay down the second of her pair. Yep, definitely unpausing Tycho. Yeah, no, the standards had a gigantic secondary armament. I mean, most of the battleships of that era did. I'm quite light on secondaries because that's what I have other ships for. German tension just got quite high, quite quick. Let's build another Tycho. Uh-oh. Yeah, I don't think I want to go to war yet. Finally. I didn't think I had a rate of fire penalty for triple turrets, but I guess I did. Let's check Jane's all the world's ships. All the world's fighting ships. So, because the entirety of our battle line are battle cruisers, which I will edit my save to reclassify the ones that aren't really battle cruisers as battleships after 1916. Because after 1916 in the game, a battle cruiser with more than 12 inches of belt armor is actually treated as a battleship. And basically all of those ships I've been building have, and they're treated as that. Unless they're greater than 31 knot speed, which I haven't built any with 31 knot. Yeah, so that's an impressive tonnage. I really need to get rid of my pre-dreads. Man, Russia has almost more tonnage in light cruisers than I do, so I guess I better build some more. But we're good with destroyers. We have 30 modern destroyers. But what I'm going to do is lay down more of those minesweepers. Such that we'll have enough ships for coastal patrol without having to tap into fleet assets. I think we got quadruple torpedo toots too, but we don't have any more displacement for the destroyers, so there's not much point in building more destroyers. Alright, but we're not building any kind of armored cruisers right now, or heavy cruisers. Let's do that for a month. Yes. let's make Britain happy with us. That's good. So, where are all the minesweepers? All right, mothball the minesweepers and continue happily along. We're about to go to war with Germany, apparently. Let's open the, actually, hang on. Man, Oakland isn't even in the recents list. Open design. Haven't researched double or triple turrets on Seal. We have to stay at 6-inch for a light cruiser. I'm tempted to just start making heavy cruisers and the heck with it. Because this is basically the weight of a heavy cruiser anyway. I guess we can add one more gun. They're only... I guess we'll stick at 30 knots. No, there's no way we'll... Alright, I guess we'll just make them slightly cheaper. % change. Oh, upping the TDS means it's a totally new design anyway. Yeah, yeah, let's see how expensive the CA version of this would actually be. Yeah, alright, we'll just make armored cruisers. Heavy cruisers. Large light cruisers, whatever the heck we want to call them. Right now it's 21 months, 1729. So let's see what happens. 22 months. Alright, so it's another $1.7 million to make this a heavy cruiser. A, B, X, Y triples. I feel like I should totally call this the Cleveland class. Oh, we still don't have reliable training and elevation. Alright, well what if we did this? Oh, but they're poor quality 9-inch guns. And we need TDS2. Alright, so we can't really do anything yet. Yeah, Jackie Fisher was certainly a big fan of battle light cruisers. That's for sure. But let's see if we... Well, I think I'm actually going to call it quits here for supper. So in the next episode, we'll see whether we go to war with Germany. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.